So there it is, the confirmation that we are getting a brand new horror maze for this year.
Lights, camera, action.
Yo, what is going on, guys? My name is TheJackSilkstone. So the time has finally come. Today we received our very first announcement about Fright Nights 2019, basically confirming which mazes we will be seeing at this year's event. I'm sure if you are a regular viewer of the channel, you will have noticed the background is a bit different to how it normally is. I do apologise, but I was not expecting an announcement today, so I just thought I'd rather get a video out, tell you guys the news as quickly as possible. But yeah, as of today, we now have our first glimpse into what Fright Nights 2019 is gonna look like. So yeah, exciting times. I know a lot of people are very, very hyped up about this news. These maze announcements have all come from the Thorpe Park website, which was updated today. So now when you go onto the Thorpe Park website and click on Fright Nights, you are now presented with this little introduction message. At Fright Nights 2019, your darkest nightmares are set to reawaken as the UK's premier award-winning Halloween event returns. Prepare to push your fear endurance to the limit and survive 8 horrifying scare attractions this October, including 2 brand new terrifying live-action horror experiences, plus the return of 6 frightening favourites. So yeah, 8 horrifying scare attractions is the main thing to take from this little paragraph. 6 of these are going to be returning from some previous years, and then there's going to be 2 brand new things. So first of all, we're going to take a look at what's going to be returning to this year's event from previous events. First up, we have Platform 15. Now this is a maze that has been at Thorpe Park Fright Nights since 2016, which means this will be its 4th year running now. Now during my first construction update, myself and Kieran were debating whether if Platform 15 would remain as Platform 15 or whether if it would be somehow tied in with what we presume to be the new maze. But obviously with this announcement, it seems like that's not going to happen. It is just going to return as Platform 15. And by reading the description of the maze, it's exactly the same as it has been in previous years. So presumably we're not going to be seeing any changes to the maze. Who knows, like obviously with the second year that it operated, there was a whole new village section, so you never really know with Platform 15 because it is so out the way, it's literally impossible to get any construction updates from it. So who knows, we could be seeing some cool new stuff with Platform, but I doubt it. I think it will pretty much be returning as it has been for previous years, which I think is brilliant news because it is a very, very scary maze and definitely one of my favourites at the event. Next up we have Screenplay Cinema, which this year is being presented by Bloody Cuts. It seems like we're getting some new films being shown in there this year. The Creepy Cut, Stitches and Sucker Blood, I don't really know anything about these, and the Fearful Feature. I don't actually think I did Screenplay Cinema last year, so I can't really say too much about that. I don't really know how long the films are or anything. I'm guessing they are just short horror films, but yeah, Screenplay Cinema is going to be returning for this year's event. Next up, we have a very iconic maze at the Thorpe Park Resort. It is The Walking Dead Living Nightmare. This maze opened with the whole Walking Dead takeover back in 2017. Since then, it's opened mid-season for Living Nightmare Extreme, and it obviously opened in the summer last year just as Living Nightmare. And yeah, it was one of my favourite mazes, and Living Nightmare Extreme is one of my favourite horror mazes ever. So yeah, Living Nightmare is going to be returning for this year's Fright Nights. Kinda hoping it's the last year of Living Nightmare, if I'm honest, just because that space that it takes up is such a good space for a maze, and I would like to see them like put something new in there. The next returning maze that we have is The Walking Dead Do or Die. This maze was brand new last year. Well, it was kind of a second coming of Sanctum, which is obviously in 2017, and in 2018 there was Do or Die. and Do or Die will be returning in 2019. I have to say, I think Do or Die was my favourite maze at last year's event, so I personally am mostly happy that it's returning. But obviously, for those of you that remember, Big Top was previously located where Do or Die is now located. So obviously there's this whole speculation thing about Big Top, and we will discuss it a bit more in a little bit. But the fact Do or Die is coming back, I don't know, perhaps we might not be getting Big Top for this year. But as I said, we will discuss this a bit more later in the video. But yeah, it was my favourite maze last year, so thumbs up from me that it's coming back. Next up, we have the Blair Witch. Now, if you have seen my first Fright Nights construction update, you'll see that we noticed some very, very interesting stuff happening over at the Blair Witch, where they seem to be roping out a new layout for the maze. If you haven't seen that video yet, I definitely recommend checking it out, because it's really, really interesting what they seem to be doing over there. We were also debating if it would return as Blair Witch or if it would have a retheme, but it does seem like it is just going to return as the Blair Witch with potentially a new, slightly more zigzaggedy route. And the final returning attraction for this year's Fright Nights is Containment. We pretty much knew this already, however, it's now confirmed. It doesn't seem like there's going to be any major changes to Containment. Reading the description of it, it's the same as it has been in previous years. But yeah, for those of you that don't know, Containment is a paid extra kind of escape room experience. So those are all of our returning attractions for this year's Fright Nights, but that does still leave us with two apparently brand new experiences. However, the interesting thing is, if you look on the website, it seems like there are 3 things that Thorpe Park have yet to announce, as it says New Fear 1, New Fear 2 and New Fear 3. So just what are these things? Well, if you click on each one, we get a little description of what it's going to be. So with New Fear 1, the description that we're given is, this year join us for a demonstration of dread in this terrifying, never before seen Fright Night show. This is quite interesting. Obviously last year we had the Big Top showtime, so could this be something similar to that, where we'll see like actors in the dome performing and then maybe like running into the crowd just like we did in Showtime? But I don't know, it seems like we could be seeing something completely brand new. Where this is going to be taking place, I'm not too sure, because the cinema's occupied and there's not really anywhere apart from the dome that they could use. So yeah, we're gonna have to keep an eye out for this in our construction updates, so be sure to subscribe to be notified when those are uploaded. But yeah, very, very interesting. It seems like we're gonna be getting a show this year. Now, if we click onto the New Fear 2, our description is, new for 2019, have you got the guts to take on this chilling challenge? Doesn't necessarily sound like a maze in my opinion. So when we first heard about this, we were trying to think like, what could challenge mean? And the best we could come up with was jungle escape. Obviously the new escape room at the park. Could they be doing kind of like a scary version of that? And very interestingly, the building where jungle escape is located is the building where the freezer maze was previously located years and years ago at Fright Nights. So the fact that it's called Chilling Challenges, I don't know, could they somehow be incorporating the freezer into like jungle escape? I really don't know, it's pure speculation. Also interestingly, on like the new logos that Thorpe Park are putting out this year, there seem to be ghosts and stuff. So could this be the experience where these ghosts are being seen? And obviously there was that picture of the gothic scary house. So yeah, could this experience be where we're seeing these ghosts and scary house kind of thing being incorporated into the event? I don't know. Once again, we'll have to keep an eye on the jungle escape kind of area to see if there's any changes going on. Now, last up we have New Fear 3, and the description is, brace yourself and prepare for the gruesome worst as you take on this new for 2019 horror maze. So there it is, the confirmation that we are getting a brand new horror maze for this year. As I said, if you've been watching the construction updates, I know I'm plugging a lot, but we have obviously spotted all of the activity going on over in Old Town around the Loggers Leap station. I'm presuming that this is where this brand new maze is going to be located. And obviously on the logo that Thorpe Park has released, there was this kind of guy with a chainsaw. So At the moment, my money would be on this guy with the chainsaw being in this maze in the old loggers kind of station area. We will of course be checking these out with the construction updates. Yeah, at the moment, just from like this image and the kind of theming that they've gone with in the teasers, it's kind of seems like a hybrid between Tully Shocktoberfest's Chop Shop and Alton Towers' Skin Snatchers maze. At the moment, it seems like a kind of blend of the two, which gets me very, very, very excited, because I have been saying for a while now that I would love a very intense maze to come back to Thorpe Park, and obviously Chop Shop is one of the most intense mazes in the country, so the fact that we could be seeing a similar kind of thing to that at Thorpe makes me very, very excited. But yeah, I'm just glad that we're getting a brand new horror maze, and by the looks of it, it's going to be indoors. It's going to be quite a permanent kind of maze. So yeah, very, very exciting stuff. So yeah, that is everything that we have at the moment. It's been a very exciting announcement. However, you may have noticed that a few things have been left out this year. The most noticeable is, of course, the lack of Big Top. I have been saying in all of my previous videos this year that I would love, love, love to see it come back, and I've been saying I think it's likely that it will, but with this initial announcement, I don't know, it's not seeming too good for the Big Top. I mean, Thorpe could just be like completely baiting us out, and they're going to announce it later down the line, like last minute, but I don't know. At this point, we might have to start giving up hope of the Big Top returning. It will be a massive, massive shame if it doesn't return for this year's event, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see. And another thing that you may have noticed hasn't been mentioned this year is Dead Creek Woods, which was brand new for last year. They kind of like used the old zombie hunt path and changed up the storyline. It was a very enjoyable maze last year, so I think it is a shame that it's not returning. So yeah, that is everything that I wanted to discuss with you guys in this video. I'm just so glad that we have finally got our first announcement for this year's event. And obviously I will be keeping you guys up to date with all of the new developments with Fright Nights this year. As soon as these other 3 things are announced, I'm going to be uploading videos for you guys. So yeah, be sure to subscribe to be notified as soon as I upload those. And yeah, the Fright Nights hype has truly begun. I am so, so excited. It's my favorite time of the year. So yeah, exciting times. Be sure to let me know down in the comments all of your speculation. What's going on with Big Top? What are these 3 new things going to be? And are you excited about this initial announcement? And yeah, thank you very, very much for watching this video, guys. I really appreciate it. My name is TheJackSilkstone. Goodbye.
Talk to your team like Jigsaw. You don't want to see me take a big shot. Stop clowning around like Big Top. Live a nightmare when he kicks off. Stop clowning around like Big Top.